Welcome to the third and hopefully final installment of the section on significant figures. In this video, we're going to quickly talk about adding and subtracting with significant figures and then multiplying and dividing with them as well. Not only is it important to be accurate when we are measuring things, but then the calculations that come out of those measurements also very important to remain accurate. Because if you're accurate with one and not the other, what's the point, right? So it's good to be accurate all the way around. So when we add and subtract with significant figures, the way to determine how many significant figures your answer has is to look back at all the numbers in the problem. Find the one with the least amount of numbers to the right of the decimal point, and that will be the amount of numbers that you need to round to in your answer. If you've heard that saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, well, we need to find the number that's the weakest or the least accurate or the one with the least amount of numbers past the decimal point. So if we look at this example, you can see here we have 5 numbers. We're adding them together. The first thing we want to do is to find out how many places past the decimal are in each of our starting quantities. So as you can see here, this first one has 3 numbers past the decimal point. Let's see if we can draw a 3 here. This one only has 2 numbers past the decimal point. And this one, there are actually 4 numbers past the decimal point. So when we think next about our answer, we need to make sure that it is going to have the same number of places past the decimal as in our smallest, not the smallest number, which is this number, but the one with the least amount of numbers past the decimal point, which happens to be this 25.84. There are only 2 numbers past the decimal point. So when we record our answer, it can only have 2 numbers past the decimal point. It can only be as accurate as our least accurate number. So the answer we will report will be 33.76 because we have rounded up here the 33.755 to get a number that just has 2 places past the decimal point. So that is the importance when you're looking at adding and subtracting. Now, when we talk about multiplying and dividing, it's a little bit different. With multiplying and dividing, we look at the whole number. We don't just look past the decimal point, but we look at the whole number. Our answer has got to have the same number of significant figures as the number with the least number of significant figures in the whole number. So again, let's look at this example, and I think there's a place in your notes to answer these questions, so you can do that while we're going. Make sure and pause if you need to. So how many significant figures are in each starting quantity? So write down what you think. So as I'm looking at this number, here, this first one, there are 3 significant figures. In this second one, there are 2 significant figures. So then when we look at the next thing, you can write this down in your notes as well. How are we going to report our answer? How many significant figures is it going to have? The answer to that question is 2. Right? Which one of these is smallest between 3 and 2? The 2. So our answer can only have 2 significant figures. So for this problem, the answer is just going to be 42. Then, sorry for my messy, centimeters squared. I bet by the end of the semester I'll be a whiz at making numbers with this pen. Now, try this next one on your own in your notes.